This is going out the day after the Olympia.
Mm-hmm.
What do you hope happened yesterday?
Well, I certainly hope I won. Definitely. Easiest answer to give. This year is just very important to me to really want to bring my best package. You know, it sounds cheesy to say, but I've been working hard, going through a lot of adversities and challenges over the years, and every year's had something kind of like get in my way and felt like it was holding me back. This year's had a few earlier on in the year, but at this point, I'm feeling pretty good, feeling pretty set. So I just want to be able to stride into this one. I want to be able to enjoy it. I want to be able to, you know, get off stage, kiss my wife, hold my baby, know that I became the best in the world and maintained a beautiful relationship through it.
How important is it to share the success with somebody else as opposed to just doing it for yourself?
It's hard to say how important it is because I haven't had the success without her, but I can't imagine it in any other way. I think, you know, in the meaning we find in life, it's beautiful to do hard things and to accomplish things. But if you were to do it alone, it's just not the same as being able to share it with someone. I think there's a level of, you know, codependence and regulation that can be healthy and can help you push through, be more present, not have to shut off and numb so much. You know, I think a lot of people who are going through hard things, trying to accomplish really big levels of success, numb a lot to get there. And I think being able to have a partner in which you can regulate yourself with and share and communicate and lean on prevents you from having to numb, brings you closer together, which is its own experience as well as the experience of whatever you're working towards. So it's like double the amount of joy that you get to feel.
Growing in two ways at once.
Exactly, yeah. And who doesn't want a big hug after you accomplish something, you know?
Yeah, that's cool. What will you be talking about in your speech, hopefully?
My speech, hopefully? It's a good question. I would say just talking about this year, I've been thinking a lot about the sacrifices that come with success. You know, like nothing comes for free. And I've reflected a lot over the years of how much of my mental peace I've had to sacrifice to accomplish what I've accomplished. And it's just been a lot of like waking up at 5 a.m., going through the day, wake up, weigh myself, weigh my food, do my check-ins in the mirror, like go to the gym, work out, how strong, everything is like, am I good enough? Am I being enough? Am I doing enough to win the Olympia right now? It's all just compared to being Mr. Olympia, to that level of success. And, you know, people talk about what you sacrifice to be great at things. And they're normally like, you don't get to go hang out with your friends. You don't get to go party, go eat, go do these things. But I think for me, the biggest sacrifice has just been my mental peace. So the goal this year has been trying to find that, maintain it, have the mental peace while also thriving at a high level and seeing how I can do that as efficiently as possible. And, you know, I'd like to be able to say I did so successfully.
Talk to me about the tension of being as high of a performer, the best in the world at what you do, whilst also not having that neurotic drive, that sort of ambient anxiety that you can never switch off, because it seems like that anxiety is precisely what creates the perfectionism approach that allows you to cover all of those bases. Is it possible to have one without the other?
I'm not sure. I still have a level of neuroticism in me, even though I've been succeeding for like 5-6 years now, and it's definitely gotten better. You know, I don't focus on perfection. I focus on just doing the best I can. But even within that, I have that voice in my head that will look at myself every now and then and be like, it's not that I'm a shitty person, but if I'm trying to be Mr. Olympia, like, you're not fucking doing enough. And it creates a impeding anxiety upon myself, like I'm not doing enough. And that's not like an overwhelming thing all the time. It's a drive for me to keep being better and keep pushing more and more, but it's a lot. So I think being able to manage that is one of the most challenging things of maintaining success for an extended period of time. You know, there's two different mindsets when you win something. There's, oh, I won, I did it, I'm done. And then there's, oh shit, like I got to do better than this. I won, now I have to maintain this. Not only maintain this, but this is the bare minimum of what's expected of me, and I got to do better now. So there's the balance of all that. And I think over the last couple of years, I've been able to really be able to fix my perspective on just being grateful for the privilege of it. You know, there's been times where I thought I was going to stop competing because the pressure felt so high. And then when I started to step away from it, I was like, fuck, I would really miss this pressure. Like, I have something I love about it. There's something I love about being put back against the corner, like knowing that there's a lot of work I have to do, feeling like I can't accomplish my goal and you're going to have to do it. There's something so like simple and beautiful in the meaning of just doing something that difficult under that level of pressure that you're choosing to do. You know, people say you find meaning in suffering. And I think if you put yourself into like a meaningless suffering, it's kind of just it's dumb. There's no point. You're just hurting yourself for no reason. But if you can find your meaning in just doing hard things that are as close as possible to suffering, that you're still benefiting from and you still enjoy, I think it's beautiful.
That's one of the vicious double-edged swords of having success. If you have that kind of mentality, which I know all too well, that anytime you reach a new high or achieve some new kind of bar, hooray, we did it. Immediately the next thought after that is, oh fuck, I now need to do it again, but better. That's now the next minimum.
Yeah, and I've had conversations with many people about the possibility of not having that and just being able to enjoy and relieve the pressure on yourself. And you know, there's all these studies that come out talk about motivation and drive, saying that you can get more from coming from like a secure place rather than beating yourself up. And it's like, it depends on what your version of success is. Like, can these people live a life to be more happy and fulfilled? Yes. But will they be Michael Jordan and have 6 championships?
Dude,
probably not, you know?
I love this topic. I love it so much. And I think the bottom line is that if you're talking about beating everybody else on the planet to a thing, what you're actually talking about is what are you prepared to sacrifice psychologically, physically, existentially, relationally, socially, in terms of your self-esteem, your confidence, everything, right? All of that. Because if there's even a part of you that's thinking, well, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to balance it because I want to feel satisfied. I want to feel comfortable with myself and so on and so forth. That's fine for as long as it contributes to your performance within the domain that you're competing in. But as soon as you sacrifice any output in that, that's just an opening for somebody else that's the competitor that's going to come in and get it.
Yeah.
Because I use this example of Eddie Hall, world's strongest man, 2017 or 18, I think. And he's there, you know, he's worked hard toward this final goal. He wins it once and he's crying and he's saying, Nana, this is for you. His grandma that passed away recently, something like that. And he says if he hadn't won that year, he thinks that he would be dead, divorced with no relationship to his kid because the weight he was at and the way he was pushing his body with pharmaceuticals and stuff was ridiculous. He was working so hard and training so much that his relationship with his wife was in the toilet and he spent no time with his kid. So you think, okay, in order for you to beat Eddie Hall, you have to be prepared to sacrifice all of those things or not have them in the first place. So that's the price that he pays to be him. Do you want to win World's Strongest Man? Because that's the price right there.
Yeah, it's powerful. And that's what it comes down to, like, what are you willing to sacrifice at the end of the day? You know, people don't understand the level of sacrifice it's going to take. And there's been moments where I realize that there are competitors I'm going against, I'm sure, and people in my league who are doing things that hurt their body more than I'm willing to do. Because I'm not the person anymore. I can't say I'm willing to sacrifice everything to win the Olympia. Like, hell no. I have a family. You know, there's things I care about. Am I willing to sacrifice a lot? My own, like, selfish mental peace and a lot of joy and a lot of things and working really hard? Absolutely. But my health, taking years off my life to not be with my family and stuff, those are the things that kind of like hold me back now. And is that going to make me better or worse? I don't know. But again, you know, I've always focused on building my own definition of what success means to me. You know, it's like we were saying, in competition, there will always be, I'm trying to be the best in the world. That means I need to beat these people. That means I'm good enough or I'm not good enough in comparison to something external of myself. But internally, the values of the truth of what you hold in yourself, of what really success means to you in your entire life, those are the things that you kind of have to balance and weigh out and kind of lean into one or the other. And I compete because I want to win. I love winning. I love being the best in the world. I've sat many times trying to find the balance of what I want within all this. If I was losing, I wouldn't be competing. I'm here to win. And it is what it is. I love what I do, but at this point it's taken away a lot that I just really love winning more than I dislike the work. So it's fine. I can do it. But my values are still bigger than that. My success at the end of my life is beyond hurting myself now to do so. So it's a constant check-in with myself of making sure I'm lining up my values and I'm not going to sacrifice winning to do so. And I need to be smart enough that when those start to disbalance, I need to pull away from one, focus on the other, and know when to check out.
So what happens next?
What next in life? Take it year by year and we see. You know, I've been saying, I think 2019 was the year I finished, won the Olympia, went home, and I was like, I'm done. I'm retiring. And that was the year I was over it. I was done. In 2018, I almost done. And then 2019, I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to go win one. I won one, came back, All I felt was relief. I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought. I still was getting a little sick from autoimmune. I didn't know how to manage my health properly back then. And it was just so much stress about my health because of 2018 when I was in the hospital for my autoimmune that I was like, this isn't worth it to me. I'm not doing this anymore. And ever since then, I've been like, if I do one more, then I'm lucky to do one more. And I'm going to take it 1 year at a time. And so every year I've been grateful enough to be able to do one more at a time. If my health has gotten better every single year, and every year I find that drive and that excitement behind that pressure to be better and better, and I'm still enjoying it. I haven't sacrificed anything beyond my values and my truth. So I'm here doing my best.
It'll be maybe even more of an impressive feat to be able to do it without sacrificing that stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's very unglorious. Do you know what I mean? It's got nothing to do with how peeled you are when you step out on stage, or, oh my God, look at how much back development he's accumulated from last year or whatever. It's one of those very odd private victories.
Yeah.
Like I always think about this, these weird insults that we have to ourselves on a daily basis that no one is ever going to give you any applause for. So you get caught up in traffic in a way that wasn't your fault, and then when you get there, the person that you're dealing with, something goes wrong with that, and something else goes wrong with this, and something else goes wrong the whole day, all the way down, and no one of these is impressive or grand or magnificent in any way, and you manage to sort of weave your way through the day, keeping your cool, and you don't lose it, and you manage to kind of make the best of that whole day, and you get to the end of it, and there's no one applauding you for having got through that, and yet you look back at the day and you go, holy fuck, like, I'm really proud of myself for that. I handled
myself well.
Yes, yeah. So I think a lot about normal private victories like that, and it's a shame that there isn't a better way. I guess journaling, gratitude practice would help, but I
mean, I would argue a really close relationship. Where you're able to share everything and they're able to see the struggles that most people don't ever see is another experience where when you
boring wins, successes,
you can share them together. My wife is a hell of a lot more proud of me for being myself and being genuine than at ever winning Olympias. So I think that's another, how we started off the podcast, way to experience something with someone else.
I was talking to Ben Shapiro yesterday, and he sort of reminded everybody just how much his wife, who's like a accomplished doctor and they've got 4 kids or whatever, gives absolutely zero shits about what he does. He said that there'd been this week where he'd filmed some really impressive documentary thing over in Europe, and then came back and was currently the #1 rap artist in America in the same week. And he got home and talking to his wife and just saying, how's your week been? And she's explaining about, oh, this happened with the kids and such and such. She said, how was your week? And he says, yeah, pretty busy, I think. And he explained, he's like, I'm currently the #1 selling rap artist. And he was like, yeah, that's good. The bins need taking out.
Yeah, to go take out the trash.
Yep.
That's a beautiful relationship.
I think it's cool.
That's awesome. And she probably also knows him well enough to know that that's probably not a victory that he holds high in his heart as well. Yeah. So
it's not like, I finished a book that I worked on for a long time.
If he was super proud of it, I'm sure she would support him for it. But she's like, all right, you have enough ego blast.
You're competing with Nicki Minaj. No one cares. Talk to me about this prep. How's this prep been?
This prep has been good. It's been a struggle up and down at moments, as they always are. I started a little bit late this year, I feel. I spent my winter down in Turkey getting a new hairline and didn't go
sweet, dude.
It's a little straighter than last time. What do they call me? The Lego Roblox character.
Yep. Yeah.
The comments love it. But it took a couple months off at the beginning of the year and kind of developed a little bit of pressure behind me, feeling behind, and allowed me to kick my ass and go through it. But I feel good. My body's healthy and I'm ready to roll.
What are your biggest cheats for this stage of prep, or biggest insights around fat loss? I imagine the hunger that you're dealing with is pretty ugly. What calories are you on at the moment?
I'm eating about 2,200 calories right now.
Okay. And we're 3 weeks out?
3.5.
Yeah. So that's going to go down to 1,500, 1,600?
It depends every year. Probably, though.
Okay.
I still have to lose 9 pounds in 3 weeks. So, yeah. So probably it'll cut down a little more.
How do you deal with the hunger?